Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In case you're wondering why I'm standing like this car does not have an armrest at the back. I'm just making my own armrest so I can actually block out the car. Today we've got the Opel, you can see by the badge, and to reveal to you which Opel we have, it's the Zafira Life. Let's start this review in reverse, literally. I'm not going to be reversing, I'm going to be showing to you from the back. So let's start off with the boot, and this car is an 8-seater. And before I show you how big the boot is, please note that all 8 seats are being used. Have a look at this, over 1000 liters of boot space. You can see at the back here, the car does have a reverse camera, and it also has a front and rear PDC sensors, which are really important for a car this size. So this here at the back, I mean, it's not a compartment or anything, it just adds a nice look to the car. Now, in case you're wondering if you're looking skew, the fuel tank is actually skew, and the reason for that is if you look closely, you can see it's molded inside here, so it actually follows this pattern. Over here at the bottom, we've got 17-inch alloy wheels. I know it does look like 15 inches because if you look at the size of the car, it does look smaller than a normal 17-inch, but it is. I have checked. Here's the key if you guys want to see. It's not push to start, so let's switch it off. There you can see it, so it's automatically folding. And that does help because the car is big, so it'll help you to fit into a smaller space. It's a neat looking vehicle. It's got a chrome plate here in front, a nice Opel sign, nice and big. It's even got Opel written on there as opposed to just the sign like at the back. You've got a nice strip here, and you've got your headlights here. They are automatic headlights, so that really helps a lot. And you've got your fog lights, which always helps with the visibility. Now in the interior, it's really comfortable. When you get into your seating position like this, if you look down here, you can see it's kind of like a footrest, so you can actually put your legs like that and you're very comfortable. You know, normally you would pull down for cup holders here, but you actually do it here with the seats. So you've got two, you've got a place for a cup there, and you can put your food there. Knee room is good, headroom is good, you've got nice air vents here. So the car is very big and there's enough air vents. So if you want to go to the back, which you probably will if you have a lot of passengers, you just slip this up and then the seat goes initially down. It's not super comfortable to get in, but it is a bit tight, so it is quite easy for the person at the back to close the seats. And you can actually reach the boot here. If you have anything on the top, you can reach it, so that's easy to use. One downside of this steering wheel is that there's no buttons. It's not very comfortable, and for a car this size, because you need to turn quite vigorously sometimes, it's not the most comfortable steering wheel to turn. If you look down here, the cruise control is here, which is on the stick here, which is not very comfortable. It could have actually been better placed on the steering wheel. You've got a touchscreen infotainment system. It's very basic. You've got your normal buttons, automatic dual zone climate control. You've got one USB port, and you've got a 12-volt socket there. There's no gear shift down here. The gear shift is actually here, so you rotate it here. Let me just keep on the brakes, so you turn it like that. There you can have a look at how the dashboard looks. It's quite simple. Now that we are driving the Opel Zafira, the first thing you notice is the power in the engine. It's powered by a 2-liter turbo diesel. It has 110 kilowatts of power and 370 newton meters of torque. One thing this car does not lack, besides many other things like space, is the power. With a car this size, something very important is the power, because you need something that's strong that can, carry this car. The power to weight ratio is definitely good in this Opel Zafira. Being a big car, not only in width but in height, it doesn't make for the most comfortable city drive. If you have this car, you might need something smaller as a runaround car, just for practicality purposes, because if you take this to malls and especially places that have underground parking, it's not the most comfortable, and then you always have to watch out for things hanging through from the roof, because you might make it under the 2.05 meter banner or 2.05 meter pole at the start, but there will be definitely things hanging down and you might touch a few things. So if you do have this car, just watch out for the height and maybe have a second car as a practicality purpose for day-to-day running. I did manage to take this car in a few places, like in Cavendish underground parking, as well as a few other places in the Cape Town CBD. I did not touch anything, but I was very careful. At some points I actually had to come out of the car and just look at the height to see if the car is fine. So luckily nothing happened to me, but I just advise to have a smaller car. In terms of fuel capacity, it does have a 70-liter tank, so the range is quite good. But I'd say if you have a car like this, you most probably would be using it for the open road, so you'll easily get about 800 kilometers on the tank, if not more. In terms of ride quality, it is a smooth ride. You don't feel the bumps too much, although when you are going over speed bumps, you just need to take it a bit cautiously, because as you come down the speed bump, the suspension and the car does shake a bit. You need to take the speed bumps quite slow because the car is quite heavy, so as it lands down, it does bump a bit. The model that I'm driving, it's called the Edition model, and this is the lower range. There is a one higher than this. So this Edition model doesn't have any buttons on the steering wheel. It actually looks quite bare. It's been a while since I've driven a car that doesn't have any buttons, and you definitely do miss it. It doesn't have leather seats. The upper one, which is the Elegance model, that has the buttons on the steering wheel, like the audio functions and the normal functions you do get on the steering wheel. That definitely does help from a convenience point of view. From a comfort point of view, it does have fully leather seats, although the Elegance has 7 seats and this one, the Edition model, has 8 seats. So in the 7-seat model, it is fully leather at the back. You do have a table. In this midsection here, you have 3 seats, but in the Elegance, you have 2, and those do swivel. So you can actually rotate them towards the back. And if you are on a long road trip, you can play a board game at the back, or you can even have business meetings. The upper range is looked at more of a business vehicle, and also the Elegance model does have automatic doors, so the sides doors open and close automatically. In terms of price, this one here, the Edition model, without all the extras that the Elegance has, will cost you about 770,000. And the Elegance model, it is quite a bit more expensive, at about 110,000 more, at about looking at a price of around 888,000. So you are paying quite a bit, but you are getting that much more comfort and luxury inside. They're not exactly the same in seating, but the space, the interior, the size of the vehicle, the cosmetics, the engine, they're both identical. So competitors to this vehicle are the Hyundai H1 and the new one that has come out now, the Hyundai Staria. Yeah, being an MPV, it is a passenger mover. Would you go for something like this if you are a family doing road trips, or do you think it's just mainly for if you are like maybe a service provider or a tour operator to take your clients on tours? Would you pay that extra 110,000 to get the Elegance model? If this car is too big for you, being an 8-seater and too big for you to drive, there are some other cars on my channel, variation between SUVs, sedans, hatchbacks. Check those out. I'm sure you'll find something you do like. That's it for this Opel Zafira, which is the 2022 edition. Yeah, let me know your comments below. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you do enjoy the content on this channel, please remember to like and subscribe to this channel, and also turn on the notifications. I do have some exciting content coming up, and I'll see you guys in the next video.